Alright guys, a bit of an iron lung day today. I watched the film last night, I reviewed it yesterday, released that video today, and now I'm following it up with another video. But you know they were filmed at different times, because I've got a different beard hair. Anyway, point is, bit of an iron lung day, because I alluded to this in my review, and I just thought it was worthwhile doing its own video, because it's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. Now, you can think whatever you like about the film. It's actually kind of besides the point. The fact that Iron Lung is about to cross $40 million kind of shows that Hollywood doesn't have that monopolistic grip on theatres anymore. Theatres have been heavily reliant on Hollywood movies. Essentially, that is the model, right? Hollywood films, they get released, theatres show them, theatres take a cut of the profit. Brilliant. But theatres have been struggling a lot lately because Hollywood hasn't been pushing the kind of films that audiences want to watch. Now, Hollywood has suffered as well because it's kind of a symbiotic, well, it is a symbiotic relationship, right? It is a symbiosis between theatre chains, Hollywood, studios, and of course, the customer works in there as well. But this, it just shows, not on a grand scale, but it does show that you can come in as a relative unknown with a property that is unknown, and you can come in and make some money. Now, that is very, very dependent on those theatre chains actually saying, yeah, we'll show your movie. Yeah, we'll show it. Yeah. Because actually, a lot of them aren't willing to do that. Now, I'm hoping that this will make theatre chains willing to show more movies that are outside of the status quo, that are outside of the institution that is Hollywood. Now, I'm not going to say that this will change Hollywood immediately, that this will reshape the industry at large. Anyone saying that, it's wishful thinking. It's just that is just not going to happen, right? That's not going to happen. But it is indicative of the potential trajectory of the industry, and that is exciting. So I wanted to talk about it because this is interesting, right? As they say, and well, as this article says anyway, is that we're entering into the new dawn of Hollywood level production values deflated by almost infinite levels via artificial intelligence. One film is proving that the day of independent content creators has finally arrived. Now, I disagree that this is indicative of it being the day, right? Like, I don't think that's the case. This is baby steps. We're here, but we could be there. We're here. We're beginning that tumble, right? We're beginning that avalanche that could stem into something or could become something really, really encouraging, really, really interesting. So the independently produced thriller Iron Lung is poised to cross $40 million at the domestic box office, which is crazy. Which is, as they say here, a staggering achievement given its modest production scale. This cost $3 million, what I could find. So, it's nothing. It's tiny. It's absolutely minuscule. And you know what? It's a fine movie. It's when you're reviewing it from the perspective of, well, it cost $3 million and it's just a guy in a room for all intents and purposes, it's not bad. I had a relatively good time with it. I'm not a massive fan of those kind of films where it's just like one man in a room or a vehicle, for instance, discussing things with a comms device. There's been a few of them that have come out. Tom Hardy starred in one. I think it was called Lock. I mentioned it in my review. I'm not a massive fan of those kind of films anyway, but this one was all right. It was interesting. So as they say, in an age where studio tentpoles routinely cost $150 million to $250 million before marketing, Iron Lung represents the opposite end of the spectrum, a tightly controlled, creator-driven film made on a fraction of that budget and now delivering outsized theatrical returns, which is true. That is the case. Versus its budget, this is earning a hell of a lot of money. So the exact production figures have not been formally disclosed. Industry estimates place Iron Lung's budget comfortably in the low single-digit millions, with Forbes suggesting it may even sit as low as 3 million. That's what I could find anyway. Even if one assumes a slightly higher total cost once marketing and distribution expenses are included, the math is extraordinary. Considering there was almost no traditional marketing spend on the film, we're now easily at a 12 times return on investment, which is, I mean, that is insane. That's mad. That's brilliant. So if Iron Lung crosses $40 million domestically, theatres typically retain roughly 45 to 50% of domestic ticket sales. That would leave approximately $20 million to $22 million returning to distributors and producers. On a total all-in cost, for example, of say $5 million, including marketing and things, the film could clear $15 million or more in pure profit from domestic theatrical alone. Ancillary revenue streams such as premium VOD, streaming licensing, international sales, physical media would add additional upside. For a project of this size, that is crazy, right? Like, that is crazy. Major studios often need to gross 2 to 3 times their production budget to break even due to marketing, overhead, and back-end deals. A $200 million film may need $500 million globally just to see real profit. Iron Lung, however, basically needed nothing to break even and go into profit, which is crazy. It's crazy. And now they say artificial intelligence generating videos that can take on Hollywood, for better or worse. The entire system is about to change. I'm not one of these people that massively buys into that AI will tackle Hollywood. One, I don't think they'll allow it. It's one of those things that they will pressure theatres or agencies or any of these things. It's freely manipulative, right? They're able to manipulate the market in a way where I don't think that they will allow AI to break through. But even so, there's something sort of intangible about AI. When you watch AI videos, they look fine, sure, on a computer. They look fine on your phone. But it is rather intangible nonsense. And I don't think it is too polished. It is too inauthentic. And, even if you're watching people that are real individuals, I think it still has an element of uncanny valley to it, to be honest. So I'm not one of these people that thinks that actually it will, dominate the market per se. But as it says, and as I started out really, is that, Godzilla -1, for instance, proved you could break into Hollywood and just make a hell of a lot of money. And now Iron Lung shows that just a YouTuber making a movie can do exactly the same thing, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Online creators now command built-in audiences that rival cable networks, which is true. Creator with millions of subscribers does not need to spend $50 million on awareness campaigns. And this is something I've been saying about Hollywood, is that they each have their own YouTube channel. It's weird. And the whole ecosystem of YouTube, it's weird that they spend so much money on marketing. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why are you spending money having your trailer be an advert in front of other videos when it could just be its own video? And people will go and watch it regardless. Seems very strange to me. Direct marketing is a thing, and it's something which people should do. So there you go. I don't have much else to say, really. I just think it's interesting, and we're not there yet, but we are at a very early stepping stone for the industry being shook up. So yeah, leave your thoughts down below. Bye bye now.